ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ ईशावास्यमिदगं सर्वम् यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनम् कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेच्छतगं समाः एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे। असूर्यानामते लोका असुर्यानामते लोका अन्धेन तमसावृताः तागंस्ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये केचात्महनो जनाः अनेजदेकम् मनसो जवीयः नैनद्देवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतो अन्यानत्येति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपो मातरिश्वा ददाति तदेजति तन्नेजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मन्येवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मैवाभूद्विजानतः तत्र को मोहः कः शोकः एकत्वम् अनुपश्यत सपर्यगाच्छुक्रम् अकायमवृणम् अस्नाविरम् शुद्धम् अपापविद्धम् कविर्मनीषी परिभूः स्वयम्भूः याथा तत्यतोऽर्थान् व्यदधात् शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्यः अन्धन्तमप्रविशन्ति ये विद्यामुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो य विद्यायागुम् रताः अन्यदेवाहुर्विद्यया अन्यदाहुरविद्यया इति शुश्रुम धीराणाम् येनस्तद्विचचक्षिरे विद्याम् च यस्तद्वेदोभयगंसः अविद्ययाम् मृत्युम् तीर्त्वा विद्ययामृतमश्नुते अन्धन्तमप्रविशन्ति ये सम्भूतिमुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो य सम्भूत्यागुम् रताः अन्यदेवाहुर्सम्भवात् अन्यदाहुरसम्भवात् इति शुश्रुम धीराणाम् येनस्तद्विचचक्षिरे सम्भूतिम् च विनाशम् च यस्तद्वेदोभयगंसः विनाशेन मृत्युम् तीर्त्वा सम्भूत्यामृतमश्नुते हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापिहितम् मुखम् तत्त्वम् पूषन्नपावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये पूषन् एकऋषे यमः सूर्यप्राजापत्य व्यूहरश्मिन् समूह तेजो यत्ते रूपम् कल्याणतमम् तत्ते पश्यामि योऽसावसौ पुरुषः सोऽहमस्मि योऽसावसौ पुरुषः सोऽहमस्मि वायुर्अनिलम् अमृतम् अथेदम् भस्मान्तगम् शरीरम् ॐ क्रतो स्मर कृतगम् स्मर क्रतो स्मर कृतगम् स्मर अग्ने नय सुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मान् जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठाम् ते नम उक्तिम् विधेम भूयिष्ठाम् ते नम उक्तिम् विधेम ईशिता सर्वभूतमयश्च यः ईशावास्येन सम्बोध्यम् ईश्वरम् तम् नमाम्यहम् ईश्वरम् तम् नमाम्यहम्. हरि ओम्.
Thank you, Nitya.
Thank you, Bindu.
So we'll start the Upanishad today. Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guruparambaram Shruti-smriti-purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-pada Shankaram Loka-shankaram Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti-veda-vibhagine Vyomavad-vyapta-dehaya Dakshina-murtaye Namaha Om Shri Dakshina-murtaye Namaha Shanti Mantram Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We saw that from the beginning first verse Isavasimidam Sarvam till the 8th mantra there was a theme which was being developed. First was talking about renunciation. Second one was for those who cannot do the renunciation or detachment. For them, kurvanneva karmani. So they have to continue to do the karma. And then we found that Atma was given an indicative Lakshana Vakyas through which Atma was defined. Tade jadi, tanne jadi, all those mantras which we saw that. It culminated with the seventh and sixth and seventh mantra where, it said, Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva vijanataha tatra ko moha kvasyoga ekatva manirpasyata. And that was some sort of a, phalashruti or the benefit of doing atma upasana or atmegatva vijnana. And that tendency to objectify Atma was removed in the 8th mantra when it says Saparyagad. So he is the one which is everywhere. And then the three bodies, Sushma, Stula, Karana, Sharira. The subtle, the gross and the causal bodies is not of Atma. No, but we think that we are the bodies of Sushma, Karana, Sharira. So why this was mentioned was because when we objectify, we keeping our body as the object, as the individuality or the ego. And when we start objectifying, even the Atma, even though the Atma is our real nature, we try to objectify Atma as something which is to be attained or, achieved. But it is a praptasya prapti. It is already our nature. We don't have to achieve that. All we have to do is removal of the ignorance which is now is in clutch of us, and thinking that we are the body of the, nature of the body and etc. So the question is being asked is, Kadam punarevam avagamyate natu sarvesham iti. How do you say that the opponent is asking, how do you know that this is not for, these mantras are not for everyone? Those who are doing the Vedic karmas and the upasanas and the jnana portion, or for all of them. So Shankaracharya has dealt in detail in the end of the previous mantra towards where he has mentioned that why it is not for those people who are into karma and upasana. There is a general tendency among the less informed, I would say the word less informed, that Shankaracharya is against karma and upasana and is only talking about sannyasa and renunciation and the jnana marga. While he has a agenda of exemplifying jnana as the only antidote for our problems in life, because samsara or the problems of life is due to ajnana, and ajnana means ignorance, and for ignorance the only antidote is knowledge, and knowledge of our true self. Our ignorance is the reason why we are thinking that we are the body, we are the mind, we are intellect, etc., etc., including the ego. But when we know that, when we scrutinize that using the Upanishadic mantras, we know that we are neither of them. We are neither the gross body, nor the subtle body, nor the causal body, nor the mano, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, or the ego. None of them are them, because we can objectify them and see them as how they are operating. Therefore, we are different from them. Tebhyo vilakshana sakshi chinmatroham sadashivam. So we are that witness consciousness which can witness and objectify, including our ego and mind and intellect, etc. So there is a tendency for people, when Shankaracharya is harping upon this, knowledge is the only antidote for the ignorance and problems in life. He is denying the importance of karma and upasana. So he is not doing that. There is definitely adhikari veda, or the capacity of the aspirant or the student, which can be called at the lower, middle and the higher. So uttama, madhyama and kanishta. This is the Sanskrit words for it. So he is recommending that jnana marga is only for the uttamadhikari, who can renounce everything, including his eshana tyaga. That is the three eshanas, vitteshana, putreshana, lokeshana. That is for the progeny, for the wealth, and for the loka, the different worlds which you achieve through the karmas. So he is advocating jnana marga, who can do the renunciation of all sorts, sarva sangha parityagi. For rest of the people, he is not recommending this at all. In fact, in many of his commentaries, you will find that he is recommending karma kanda because he is one of those people who brought in back the karma kanda back to popularity, pushing away the Buddhist philosophers who said that the Vedas are creating the ahimsa for the sacrifice. They are killing animals and all those things. So that is why a lot of people moved out of Hinduism and went as followers of Buddhism, thinking that is that because Hinduism, in the yajna, there were animal sacrifice very popular those days. So Shankaracharya, when he brought back those Veda, the Karma Kanda and the Upasana, he insisted upon the concomitance or the combination of the karma kanda, the rituals along with upasana. So that is what is the theme of the 9th, 10th and 11th mantras of the Upanishad. This particular Upanishad. That is why he has written a preamble for that in the end of the previous mantra. So I'm not going into that because it is highly technical in the sense that Devam Vittam, Vishayam, Devata Vishayam, it's all those technical terms I need to explain for you to understand. But to put it in a nutshell, he is saying that Karmakanda alone is not going to fetch the result because Karmakanda has got two aspects of it, that is Sakama and Nishkama. The Sakama means with the desire and Nishkama is by in the form of sacrifice or by devoting that into a higher pedestal or an altar. But what happens is that Karmakanda is always has got Vedic injunction saying that Putra Kamo Yajeda. One who wants a putra or a son, he should do a yaga, Putra Kameshti yaga. There is a name for that. So every word there is a kama involved, including up to the Devaloka Prapti or Brahmaloka Prapti, there is a kamana or the desire in the Karmakanda. So Karmakanda alone will not suffice for achieving the permanent goal of moksha. Karmakanda has got anga kandas, anga yajnas or the subsidiary yajnas where the result is not mentioned, but it forms a part of the main yajna itself. Therefore, the main yajna and the subordinate yajna together becomes a combined unit, even though the subordinate yajna has no separate result given in it. So when you combine these two, it is the main yajna which is the result, giving the result of the total, both the main and the subordinate yajna put together. Now then there is this upasana or the what you call what you call upasana in upasana is where you do the appreciation, appreciation to devatas or gods, so that these devata right from the Pitruloka onwards to Brahmaloka, that is from the ancestral world to the Devaloka, Indraloka, and all those different lokas are there mentioned in the Shastras. So the final one is Hiranyagarbha Loka or the Brahmaloka. But all of them have got upasana as the means of it. But what happens is that this is what the theme of the 9, 10 and 11th mantras which I am going to deal with today is that the upasana, when it is done, there is again a kamana for it or a desire to achieve certain lokas or the state of liveliness in the Pitruloka or Brahmaloka, up to Brahmaloka. So if you want to be an Indra, you have to do certain type of upasana. If you want to become a Varuna Loka, then you have to do a certain upasana. Like that up to Brahmaloka. But what happens is that these are all time bound in the anything which is achieved through the karmas. Whether it is a karma kanda or upasana kanda, these are all with the desires. And desires are to achieve after death. Because punya is the result of a good dharmic action, whether it is upasana or karma. But it is a result of an action, both the upasana and the karma, they are bound with the time-space limitation, and therefore at the end of the time of the period up to which you have been destined to enjoy a particular world, Shine Punye Martyalogam Vishandi. After Punya becomes Shina means exhausted, Martyalogam Vishandi, you come back to the this world where human life is possible to do the karma and upasana. This going up and coming down, gadagatam. Gadagatam means going up and going to this world and coming back. This keeps on continuing until which, the human life, when you get fed up of going this life again and again, then the desire to get a permanent release from this arises in the mind of a human being. And that is the time when he looks around that I have been doing the karma and been doing the upasana for such a long time. Till then, I have not been able to find a permanent happiness or permanent escape from the world of miseries. Even the world lokas where there are miseries, because devas are being attacked by asuras. So there are current wars going on. Even the life of the Brahma Loka, which is the ultimate Hiranyagarbha, is limited, because when the kalpa is over, the cycle of the time is over, everything is in a deluge and the cycle starts again. So what happens is that then again the cycle starts for them. So what happens in the process is that the person who takes birth, after going up and down on this world, he comes to a conclusion that Pariksha yogan karmachitan brahmana nirvedamaya nasti akrita kritena tad vijnanartam sa gurumeva vigacche samitpani shotriyam brahmanishtam. We heard this in the Mundaka Upanishad. Those who have having done all the karmas, whether it is Vishnu or Shiva or Brahma or any Hiranyagarbha or whatever may be the loka you are doing it, there is a limitation up to which you will be able to enjoy the Salukyam, Sayujyam, Samipyam. These are the type of, the pedestals or the posts given when you achieve the certain lokas. Either you are close by or you are become one with it, and then like that there are different levels of achievement due to the different of the punya work you do it. So that is the punya phala of the karma, whether it is karma phala or the upasana phala. So from the Pitraloka to Devaloka is what is achieved by this. And the one who now comes to this Nirvedamaya nasti akrita kritena. All the krita or the karmas have only fetched me what is limited in time and space. So I am looking for an eternal happiness and eternal being one with that eternity or the permanent truth. The truth is the one which never changes, which is eternal in nature. So I want to become one with the truth. So to achieve that oneness with the truth, I also need to do something which is not within the time and space, which is only possible in the Jnana Marga, as that is what Shankaracharya has been harping upon. So the mistake or the misunderstood or knowledge was that Shankaracharya was against karma and upasana and was only harping upon the Jnana Marga. While his predominance was Jnana Marga, he never decried the Karma Kanda or the Upasana Kanda, because they have got their own importance for the Madhyama and Adama Adhikari, or the middle and the lower aspirants who are not fit mentally or intellectually fit to pursue the Shravana Manana Nididhyasana. So you need to have an open mind and without inhibition. When you go to a guru and surrender yourself without any inhibition or looking at the quality of the guru or the type of the guru or anything, he is only interested in the teaching of the guru. Such a person is in direct connection with the teaching rather than with the individual. So Samitpani, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So he is the one who has established himself in the Brahman, and he is well versed in the Shastra, so that he guides you using Shastra to the Brahma, and the Brahman knowledge arises in the listener or the student instantaneously. Shravana Samakale Eva Jnanam. That is how the knowledge is imparted by such a guru. So this is the background with which we should understand here. Now, as I told you, this being one of the first Upanishads or the oldest Upanishad we have in our hand, there was a commentary by one Bhaskaracharya before Shankaracharya. Now, the theme of that was, even though it was Advaita, that Bhaskaracharya erred or made a mistake in his commentary while giving the commentaries for the 9th, 10th and 11th mantra, where Vidya was being mentioned. And then there he mentioned about the Jnana Karma Samuchaya, means Jnana and Karma can go together, which Shankaracharya is very vehemently opposing, because Jnana is Vastutantra, whereas Karma is Kartrutantra. The reason between Vastutantra and Karma Tantra, I have explained it earlier, but for the benefit of all, I am repeating it again. Jnana is only exposing an object or a nature of an object as it is. It is not a product of an action or a creation where something new is being exposed or divulged. For example, a fire, when it is being mentioned as a fire, the fire with its qualities of light and the heat is what is being explained by the word fire, and that can be explained or, transmitted the knowledge. And once the knowledge takes place, a person who knows what is fire, he knows when he sees an object with light and heat that this is the fire, what has been told by the word fire. Same way, when the Upanishad mantras are used by the Brahmanishta Guru, what is the nature of Brahman, which was being mentioned in the earlier verses up to the verse 9, anejat onwards to the last mantra, Saparyagat, the mantra, where the nature of Brahman has been given. That shows the very clear nature of Brahman, and Brahman is known by the quality of Brahman, or not the quality, as it is a Vastu. Vastu means an object. We are all objects, but we mistake our object as the egoistic object. But when we see that we are not the egoistic object, we know our true nature of the object, what we are, encapsulated in this body and functioning as individuals, but our real nature of Atma or Brahman is not limited to the encapsulated body, but it is the one which I am seeing, Yattasu Atmaiva Bhut. So one who has become one Atma, he sees himself in everything and everything in him. So he is the one who now crosses the boundary of the encapsulated body and identifies himself with the Satyat Ananda or Satyant Jnanam Anandam Brahma, the nature of the Brahman. So what happens is that when that is being told, we are using terms called Vidya and Avidya in the normal sense, that Vidya is knowledge, Avidya is ignorance. Whereas in the verse 9, 10 and 11, the word Vidya and Avidya is being used in a totally different meaning, where Vidya means is Upasana, or Jnanam is another word used for the Upasana in the archaic Sanskrit. Jnanam also is used. Tayoho Jnana Karmanayoho Ekaka Anushtana Ninda Samuchayisha Na Ninda Pareva Ekasya Pratak Lakshanam Vidyaya Tad Arohanti Vidyaya Devalokaha. So Vidya Devalokaha is the word used in the Shastra, which shows that the word Vidya is used for Upasana, because Devaloka is a result of what is called Upasana. So Vidya Devaloka, when it is being mentioned, it very clearly shows the word Vidya is indicating Upasana. Same way, Jnana Karmanayoho. So the word is used as Jnana Karmanayoho. There, the jnana and karma is being again used. The word jnana karma is not jnana and karma. This is where Bhaskaracharya made a mistake of making the samuchaya or the combination of jnana and karma. But the word jnana is used in the meaning of Vidyaya. Vidyaya means jnana, means upasana. Upasana karmanoho is the word which should be the way in which it should be described. Whereas Bhaskaracharya took that as jnana karma, whereas it is Vidyaya and Vidya and karma which should be understood. So keeping this in mind, we are now enter the 9th mantra, which says that Andam tamaha pravishanti ye avidyam upasate tataha bhuya iva te tamo yau vidyayam rataha. So what does it say that? It here says that ye avidyam, vidyaya anya, means avidya means it is opposite of vidya, or anya means not opposite. That is the difference where the Bhaskaracharya's definition, translation or commentary had made a mistake. It is called a vritti. Bhaskaracharya's vritti, which has been lost now. Only Anandagiri's commentary refers to that. We don't know where the Anandagiri got to read it and what happened to that particular commentary. It is lost in history. So, Vidya, Anya, Avidya. That is separate from Vidya is Avidya. Karmaha ityartaha. So, Shankaracharya says that it means karmaha. Karmanoho vidya virodatvad. The reason why it is that karma is vidya virodha. It is the opposite of upasana. In the upasana, we don't have the karma like the Vidhi Nisheda of the Vedic injunctions. Upasana is more of a mental action. There also its action is there, but it is not the Vaidika action or Veda Vihida action. So, tam vidyam agnihotradi lakshanam eva kevalam upasate tatparaha. So, those who are interested, the middle and the lower people who are either into the karma kanda or the upasana kanda, they will be doing agnihotradi lakshanam. Agnihotra is one yaga which is being done for the purpose of the Indraloka. So those who are doing this type of Veda Vihida karma or Veda injunction by the Vedas, they will be doing Agnihotradi. And they will get them tatparaha, means they rataha, means they will be happy with that. Santushtanti iti abhiprayaha. Tadaha tasmat andatmakat tamasaha bhuya iva bahureva te tamha pravishanti. Now here, the meaning is slightly difficult to understand from Shankaracharya's Bhashya, but the meaning is like this. Those who are not doing upasana without nishkama karma or as a offering to the altar, but even like going to the temple or church or anywhere and saying that God, I want this, I want that. You are telling to God, but you are asking for something which is kamana, which is a desire. So whenever you are doing with the desire, it is these people who will go to a darker hell or darker tamas. Tamas means darkness. So they will be going to higher darkness than those who are doing Veda Vihida karmas. But Veda Vihida karmas also, those who are doing without with the right attitude for their karma upasana. There are upasanas which have to be coupled with the karma kanda of the Veda. If you don't do that, though even those people will go to the darker darkness. So that is what tado bhuya ivato tamo. So those are the people who are going to a darker place, those who are without doing things. Now in the modern scenario, this is what is being given in the Bhagavad Gita by Krishna also, where he is saying that Nishkama Karma, that is Karma Sannyasa, what he is talking about. In the third chapter onwards, Karma Yoga, Karma Sannyasa onwards, what he is mentioning is that the devotion or devoting the actions. We are not doing Vedic actions anymore, Agnihotradi, none of us are doing it. But we are all doing our Swabhavika or the natural actions for our livelihood. But when we are doing livelihood also, we don't have an attitude of devotion to the Almighty who is providing us the sunlight and the water and the air free of cost, because of which the plants and the animals are also able to survive in the world, and then the food cycle is maintained. We do not have this attitude of thanksgiving. We once in a year giving a thanksgiving is not the way in which we think. Maybe even every dinner table we may be giving a thanksgiving. But no. Pratibodha viditam matam. Every activity we are able to do is only due to that presence of the Almighty in us as Brahman or Atman. It is that which should be our place to which we should be devoting our actions. I am not doing for my ego, whereas I am devoting my action for the Atma in myself, which is the prime mover for me to do the actions. Without the Atma, I am a dead body. And as a dead body, I can do nothing. Nor I will be helpful to anybody else. Even I am helping somebody, don't have the ego that I am a philanthropist or I am a Samaritan. No, you are able to do a philanthropy or a Samaritanship only because this Atma or Brahman is shining in you. So every action, Pratibodha Viditam Madam, every action of yours has to be dedicated unto the Atma or Brahman in us. It is the same Atma Brahma which is shining in the nature outside the world, because Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvancha Mai Pashyati, one who sees himself in everything and everything in himself, how he can separate himself from everything. He is the one who is seeing not Vishnu as a separate God to whom we have to do the puja and offer the sweets or the milk or the honey or the ghee, etc. It is not to the Saligrama or the Shivalinga to whom we are giving. While doing that, we may use them as pratikas or the symbols through which we are going to do the action. The action should reflect that even in that stone of the Shivalinga or the Shaligrama or the cross or the Makkah, the Kaaba in the Makkah, what we should see is our own Atma Brahman is being reflected in those symbols which are standing for God. So whatever we are doing to them is in a way we are seeing our Atma as a pratika outside, as a symbol outside. Because we can't see our Atma because we are the Atma. So we can't see our own Atma. But when we use a symbol for that, we should see that what is shining in me is the one which is shining in this stone or in this cross or anything which I am seeing, and unto which I am hearing this thing is indirectly I am devoting that to my own Atma who is the prime mover in me, which is helping me to do all the activity. So those who do not have this nature or the attitude towards this activity into which we are submitting, those are the people who will go to a darker place, because they are not doing it in the proper way. And the 10th mantra says, Anya Devahur Avidya, Anya Devahur Vidya, Iti Shishrumadhiranam, Ena Tat Vichachachire. So what is that? By Vidya means by Upasana, Anya Deva, by the other. It is said that now he is talking as Irishishruma Dhiranam. Dhiranam Demantam. Those wise people who have told us the methodology of doing this, they have very clearly mentioned that there is separatedness between the Vidya and Avidya. Anyat eva avidyaya. Ahu means they have said. Anyadeva avidyaya. So the results of, here you should use the phalam. So vidya phalam anyadeva, avidya phalam anyadeva. Iti ahu. This is the way in which the wise people who transmitted the knowledge to us have told to us. Ena, naha. Naha means to asmakam. To us, tat vijakshire. How they have revealed to us by during the understanding or educating us or teaching us. So the means of Vidya and Avidya, even though they are separate, their results are also separate. Means Karmakanda or the Avidya will lead you to the phalaprapti of Karmakanda, like Agnihotra, Putra, in the Putra Kameshti, the Dhanu Kameshti, Dhana Kameshti, etc. Whereas Vidya means Pitraloka, they up to Brahmaloka is what is being given. So these are very categorically mentioned by the teachers who passed on this knowledge to us. And coming to the 11th mantra, Vidyancha Avidyancha Yaha Tad Vedaha Ubayaha Saha Avidyaya Mrityum Tirtva Vidyaya Amrutam Ashnute. Now Vidyancha Avidyam Saha. Now both these Vidya and Avidyam Saha means you have to couple them together. And Ubaya Saha. Tad Veda. How he has that? Vidya Mrityum Tirtva. Now the word Mrityu is not death here. Here the Mrityu Shabdavachyam is Swabhavikam Karma Jnanam. The Swabhavikam Karma means our instinct, the actions driven by instinct is what is called Mrityu by the world, because in the Brihadaranya Upanishads also this word Mrityu comes for the karma, this thing, Swabhavikam Karma. As a Karma Jnanam, which is the instinct by Vasana Prerita, or by the hidden Vasanas or tendencies in us, ask us to do certain like the animalistic tendencies in us, which where we don't use the Vidya or Avidya, neither the Karmakanda which has been told in the Vedas, nor the Avidya or the Vidya which is the Upasana Kanda, or the both these things. So though Avidyaya Mrityum Tirtva, Vidyaya Amrutam Asnude. So when you make this thing to couple together, Ubayam Saha, when you make the Karma Kanda coupled with the Upasana Kanda, then you will move towards immortality by completing many lives. It is Kramena, Krama Mukti. That is what is being mentioned here. Tad Ubayam Tirtva Adikramya Vidyaya Devadat Jnanena Amrutam Devadatmam Ashnude Prapnoti. This is where there is a Kramena Syadityuchade. This Krama Mukti is what is being mentioned by this Vidyaya Amrutam Ashnude. But when you do this as given by the Nishkama Karma or the selfless actions given in the Shastras, then where you do the karma as ordained by the Shastra and your devotion which I have mentioned earlier, if you both couple them together, then what happens is that you will go slowly. Of course, after many births, you will know that you are not able to achieve the permanent result and you will move towards the Jnana Marga. The Jnana Marga is that sannyasa. Jnana sannyasayor abhedatvat. Jnanam sannyasam. There is no difference between the two when it comes to Atma Jnana. So that is where the movement will take place in the Krama Mukti, or that is the. But those who are avidya, those who are doing by this without the without the upasana coupling the karma kanda, they will be going to swabhavikan karma. They will not know the Vedic injunctions or what has been given by the Vedas, and they will be moving towards darker places. And that will lead them to an animalistic life, which is called swabhavikam karma. This is the sum total of the 9th, 10th and 11th mantra. Now 11th mantra onwards, it is going to manifest and unmanifest form of upasanas. There the word sambodhim, asambodhim is being used, similar to this vidya and avidya. There the mantra number 12, 13 and 14 has to be coupled together. So that also I will be taking all the three together so that we have a continuity in the understanding, which I will do it in the next Wednesday's class. So today's thing will stop here and take the question answer session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. Dhanyavada.